Ladies, you're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. If you wanna make his toes curl, incorporate his happy highway. Welcome back. It's your host, Hallismmith, for another episode of Girl Core. How you're gonna give them the best of the best blowy they've ever had. And by blowy, I'm not talking about the wind. I'm talking about on the pink water bottle, on their cucumber. You guys know what it's about. I get so many girls being like, I don't know what to do, la 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 la. So I have gathered from my research and my DMs and all your Q&A, I have gathered some research in the bedroom. The 3 biggest things that women mess up when trying to give a good, blowy. First thing is dryness. It's not wet enough. Second thing is hands. You don't know what you're doing with your hands. You're either not incorporating them or you're using it too much. You gotta find the right balance. And the last thing is just enthusiasm. Is first dryness. Their mouth is getting dry. You've got cotton mouth. Nothing is fixing it. First things first is hydration. Before you see your man, I need you to be drinking water. You need to implement that more into your life. The best thing to have to beat dry mouth, if you're trying to give some good action on your man's, cucumber, is to have either a piece of gum, a mint, or a sour candy. These Sour Patch Kids, watermelon Sour Patch Kids, make your mouth get so much more saliva. Will help you if you are struggling to give brain. They do have things on TikTok I've seen before, people talking about these saliva breath mints that make your saliva extra slippery. So if you want to have a waterfall dripping out of your mouth on his cucumber, you can try Flint mints. They pretty much make you produce so much saliva, you're gonna be drooling on it. But even if you do have dry mouth and you don't have a piece of candy, you don't have any gum, this is the easiest thing to do. Dry mouth when you're, giving it a blowy is to push it as far back down your throat as possible. Like when you're brushing your teeth or using a tongue scraper and you gag and notice more saliva comes up, push it down as far as you can go. It will make your mouth get really salivary, just like when you're eating candy. And that way you can, keep it nice and wet and not super dry. Another good thing is if you're a creative girl, anything can be lube. If you really are having problems, like it's getting super dry, you need to get messier. You need to get sloppier. I want you getting crazy on that thing. I want you diving for the pink water. If you're struggling to take it down and get that saliva, you need to get messy. The messier you get, the more saliva, the more wet. I'm talking spit, snot, saliva, tears, all those things. Because ladies, if you're not getting super sloppy, if you're not getting enthusiastic and giving it your all, you're not going to be getting wet. When the snot is dripping, the mascara is running, that is what men love. They love it messy. That is the hottest thing to be doing because you are literally giving it your all. You are acting like you are in the Sahara Desert and you are so thirsty. You are going crazy. You don't care what you have to do to get that water. That is why the tears are dripping down. Your mascara is running down your face. Your eyelash extensions falling off. They don't care. They are just like, oh my gosh, look how crazy she's going. It's not about getting as deep down as you can go. That's cool if you can, but if not, no worries. It's just about giving it your all. And guys can really tell. If you look like you literally just went swimming in a full face of makeup, that's when you know you're doing it good. That's what a guy wants. He wants you to look like you just dove into a pool, full face of caked up makeup, and it is now dripping down your face because Megan Thee Stallion knew what she said when the head is bad if the makeup's not messed up. Okay, words to live by because anything can be lube. Snot, spit, tears, all that will help make sure it stays nice and slippery. Now, hands. Hands are a problem because either you use it too much or you use it too little. Bobbing with your hands up and down and your mouth is barely on it. Or if you're using not enough hands, you're just using your mouth, but then you're getting tired, so you're not lasting as long. You don't have that endurance to really give them and go on the pink water bottle because most of the time, I feel like each person should probably get around 5 to 8 minutes before you switch and do something else. If you're starting off and you guys are just doing a little foreplay and now you're going to give each other a little head, you each get around 8 minutes because by that time, that's pretty good. And then you guys can switch into a different pose and go back to it. You're not doing this to reach the big orgasm. You're just doing this to get your partner going and excited and carry on with whatever you do next. Using your hands too much is boring because it's not using all the feelings and senses. Think about this. The eggplant is most sensitive at the very top, at the very tip. And it's least sensitive when you go down to the base and to the main part of the eggplant. So you are going to want to use your hands mostly on the base of the eggplant because this is where the least sensitivity is. This is where it needs the most amount of tug and action to really feel it. Whether it's a slight twisting motion or an up and down, whatever you're doing, it needs the most amount of power. Whereas the very tip is the most sensitive. This has the most amount of sensors. So So this part you need to be softer and more gentle with. So that's mainly where you're gonna focus the mouth, because that is where you can really give it lots of love and you're not gonna hurt it. So at the same time, you're gonna have your hands going up and down, hands connected. Think of your hands like a magnet to your lips. They're attracting each other. So when your mouth goes down, your hand goes down. When your mouth goes up, your goes up. And you can really get extra suction at the top because this is gonna be more sensitive. But if you can't go all the way down, you use your hands where your mouth can't go. That's how to use your hands properly. If you do just want to use your mouth action and you don't want to use your hands, I hate when people say like, oh, a good blowy never uses the hands. No, it's not. That's stupid, because half the time hands make it better and enhance it. If you're using it properly, it will enhance the blowy on the eggplant. But if you're like, what do I do with my hands when I'm not touching the cucumber? I would say a really fun thing to do is either kind of put your hand caressing their stomach, dragging your nails on their side while you're doing like the pink water bottle. You're kind of grazing up here. You can put your hand on their inner thigh. Or a really amazing forgotten area. Ladies, you're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. If you wanna make his toes curl, incorporate his happy highway, AKA the gooch. It is that little spot in between, okay, underneath the tennis balls and that little space. It is right underneath the tennis balls. It is this blank little space that they have until you reach the back door. That little blank space is kind of just like ladies' lower pelvic, that lower stomach, where if a man presses on that, it feels really good. Same for him. Press on that gooch area, the happy highway, while you're giving a good old-fashioned handy blowy, and he will love it. It is a secret little dynamite. It is like that little button that you want to press the happy highway, the gooch, and he will be, rockets will be ascending, okay? It will be blast off. The frosting will be shooting out. But it is such a good thing to incorporate. Now, yes, you're using your hands properly. Take a little breather, just use your mouth, then go back to hands, feel around his body. And the last thing is just enthusiasm. If you're not into it, if you're not enjoying yourself, a guy can tell and acting like it's a chore when you don't want them to treat going down on the kitty cat like a chore. You want them to act like they haven't eaten. This is their last supper. So you want to give them the same experience. Be hungry for their dick. Be hungry for their eggplant. You want to work on your enthusiasm, because that's also the biggest thing. Like I hear girls being like, oh, I'm really just not in the mood. Totally understand. Totally normal to not want to go down on your partner if you're not in the mood. If you're not horny, you're not going to give head. There's a lot of work giving head. It's kind of like having a lollipop down your throat. It's a weird feeling if you're not used to it. Sometimes me and my man, I'll give him head, but I'm not super in the mood that day. Like it's like, oh, like I did it just to, you know, make sure he's nice and hard and ready. To get you in the mood, I recommend that you have him eat you out first. Take your time during foreplay so that at that point, you're going to be like, oof, babe, I want to give to you. I want to make you feel good. And that way, when you really get in the mood, you're going to want to bring out that enthusiasm. You're going to want to get crazy on it. You're going to want to dive for the D, okay? You need to practice getting activated, getting really in the mood so that they are ready to have fun with their partner and to really give them all their enthusiasm, whether it's giving blowy or just having, you know, fun pound town. So I really recommend taking your time during foreplay, read something with your partner that's kind of spicy, watch something, you know, porn, whatever it may be, get in the mood, watch 50 Shades of Grey, get your brain thinking about sex, get your brain thinking about pound town, and then talking about pound town with your partner, you know, fantasies and things. These things are all forms of foreplay. Foreplay isn't always touch. People always assume to start foreplay with like kissing and things like that. It's not always like that. Foreplay can be talking about pound town with your partner, watching something, playing a spicy game. Connecting with your partner is a form of foreplay. Even if it's just a regular deep conversation, that's a form of foreplay. That's why couples have amazing breakup sex, or why after a big argument you guys just have better pound town. It's because you're connecting emotionally. That's foreplay. So talk with your partner more before you guys go to pound town. Connect with your partner and you're gonna see it's gonna get you more excited and more enthusiastic. The more enthusiastic you are, the more you're gonna want to show up and show out, and you're gonna feel good about it because sex should be fun. You should love every part of your pound town routine. Pound town shouldn't be a workout. I haven't given it in a while, I have to do it. It's not the Stairmaster, it's not the treadmill. You should treat your intimacy like that. You need to be excited for it. If you don't like something, change it. Try something different. Try a different pose. Have them stand up, sit down, try different lube. Anything to mix it up is good. If you don't like something, you need to change it. If you keep doing something you don't like in the bedroom, you're gonna build resentment towards your partner, and that's gonna create a whole bag of beans that you don't want to deal with, okay? So work on making sure you love every part of your intimate routine and figure out what works for you. Which brings me to a really funny story. I will never forget the first time my friend gave a man a little blowy on the pink water bottle. He finishes, she's all happy, and then she gets up and she kisses him. And he freaks out. He's like, ew, what the hell? Why did you kiss me? He's like a big baby. He runs to the bathroom. He's brushing his teeth. And she's so embarrassed. She's like, I'm sorry. I just didn't know what to do. And he was so pissed off at her that she kissed him afterwards. And he threw such a bitch fit. It was like, that's so disgusting. You never kiss somebody after you do that. Made her feel so freaking bad. She calls me. She's like super stressed and almost on the verge of tears. She was so embarrassed, on the verge of tears, being like, he's gonna tell people this, like that I kissed him after I gave him a little bit of a blowy. I'm so embarrassed. I didn't know you were not supposed to do that. That is such a bitch boy response. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I think it's fully okay to kiss somebody after you just went down. If you just went down south on the kitty cat or even on the eggplant, the pink water bottle, I think it's okay to kiss. Obviously, you're like, you don't want to taste yourself or be weird. And it's just like a light peck. It's not like we're fully going out of smooch. I don't think that's bad. I know some people are like, ew, you should never kiss after you just went down on somebody. But if they're grossed out by their own business, then why would I want to be down there? I think it's just a really immature, childish thing to do, like something that young people do. And I feel so bad for my close friend, for that guy getting so pissed at her for giving him a kiss after she just went down, did all that work and pleased him. So never feel bad if you kiss somebody after you give them a little bit of action down there. It is completely okay. And if they do get mad, just be like, you know what, fine, that's the last time I do that. But you think it's gross down there? I think it's gross down there. I'm not grossed out by somebody giving me a smooch after they just went down on my kitty cat. I know that shit's good. After going down on them, it's respectful. It's like showing you like, here you go, you're welcome, and they are supposed to kiss you back as like the form of thank you. And to get mad at somebody for doing that is such like an immature person to do. And if somebody does get mad at you, like throw them out. They are not worth it. They're garbage. It pisses me off when people are rude and embarrass other people in the bedroom. But funny, speaking of the pink water bottle, as always, I got my hair done today. It's looking nice. I had an early morning appointment, but I'm gonna be going out of town, so I was like, I have a lot to do today, and it's nice just to get it done. So I scheduled it early. I come in there, it was raining, so I don't have any makeup on. I have like pretty much just like a big sweater or my pants, and I'm like, it's okay, like it's gonna be pretty low key. Nobody's really gonna be there. I'm getting my hair done, then I'm under the heater, and my hairstylist is in the back room. And then she comes back out. One of my coworkers is so excited. She's like, she recognized your pink water bottle. Are you on TikTok? And I was like, yes, I am. But I was like, no, sorry. I look really crazy right now. I have no makeup on. I've got a breakout on my face because I've been eating lots of junk food. But she's like, no, I love it. And it's funny because I bring this up because I'm like Perry the Platypus when I go out. So when I go out by myself, nobody ever knows me from TikTok or anything. But when I bring out my pink water bottle, when I carry this outside, when I'm out and about, that's when girls be coming up to me and they're like, you're a pink water bottle girl. And I'm like, yes, I am. But it is so funny. I'm like literally Perry the Platypus. When I put on the hat, they're like, oh, Perry the Platypus. And I take off the hat and it's just like, oh, that's Perry. This is literally my magic tool. When I hold it, all the bitches come. When I drop it, nobody knows who I am. But I thought it was so funny because I literally was like, wow, the pink water bottle is famous. It's not me, guys. It's the water bottle. She holds the power. But let's get into it. It is Q&A time. All right, first question of the day. Hey, my husband keeps licking his hand and then rubbing my kitty cat. Does this mean my kitty's dry? If somebody is constantly having to do a little, okay, and then rub it back on the kitty cat, yes, it might mean that it's a little bit dry down there. But for the most part, if a guy is going down south, I feel like that would be unnecessary because if he's using his mouth properly, it would be getting nice and saliva-y. It should be pretty slip and slide down there if he's doing it right. So if he's not, he needs to add more saliva. But if you are noticing he's kind of doing that spit and rub, I would recommend just implementing more lube. It's completely okay. Your kitty cat might be dry. That does happen. It happens to me all the time if we've been going at it for multiple positions. It might be a little bit dry just because you're switching a lot. And even if you're not switching a lot, it does get dry. Completely normal. Just add some lube into your, routine and it will keep it nice and slippery. Spit is honestly not the best lube. It goes away quickly. Nice lube will keep it slippery the entire time, whether it's a silicone based or water based. Usually silicone is for skin on skin and water based is for toy on skin. You want to use silicone on skin and water based with toys. Implement a good lube into your bedroom and you can prevent that. If he is eating you outright, it should stay nice and slippery. If you guys are going to pound town, just implement some lube. There's also like coconut based lubes. Be careful because if you're using condoms, that can break the condom. Next question. Hi, Hallie. I'm a beginner at giving hickeys and I don't know what to do. Do you have any specific tips to help me out? If you've never given a hickey, it's pretty much a little love mark. It is where you suck on the skin and then all the blood vessels kind of rise up. That is what a hickey is. I call them love marks. Usually gets it from somebody kind of sucking on your neck. But you can get them anywhere in the body. Like you could give yourself a hickey on your arm. I did once as a kid. I heard about this and I was like, what would happen? I had a big red hickey on my arm and my mom was like, what the hell is that? And she's like, don't do that. That's a hickey. That looks bad. If you just kind of suck on the skin, literally try it on your arm, you will get a hickey. Suction your lips to the skin and kind of inhale and don't let any air through. Seal your lips against their neck. That is how you do the hickey. And you kind of suck on it, and then when you seal it, it prevents any air getting through, and then you're also going to kind of pull up their blood vessels and give a hickey. Now, hickeys are fun when you're young because it feels like a cute territorial thing, kind of like in high school. Young relationships want to kind of claim each other and be like, yeah, that's my man, you know who did this. But when you get older, you're kind of like, I have a life to live. I don't want other adults to see me with a hickey. It kind of feels immature. But when you're young, it's super fun. I would just say, if you are trying to do it, start lightly smooching. If you are trying to give a hickey, if you are trying to give a little love mark on the neck, I would say begin smooching just, from the lips down to the cheek and work your way down. Do a little like smooch and then do that suction. Seal your lips on the skin. Inhale, and then that's gonna pull the blood vessels up. Some people love it because it shows a territorial thing in your relationship. Some people don't like that because they're like, I don't want that on my skin. I have a job. I have things to do. My parents are going to get mad. So make sure you always ask somebody before you do it. You kind of suck for a few seconds and you can lick, kiss, and then go back to sucking. Eventually you'll see that little red skin pull up. The longer you do it, the more it's going to leave a mark. Hi, Hallie. I'm gonna do the back door for the first time, but I'm super nervous and I don't know how to prep. Okay, if you're gonna try the back door, few things to do to prep is make sure that your stomach is kind of empty before you begin. Like you don't want to eat a super heavy meal before you and your partner are trying to go to Pound Town at the back door because you're gonna feel really full and kind of bloated, and that's where your body detoxes and gets rid of product. You want to make sure just have a light meal. You don't have to not eat, but just eat something light. Eat a nice salad, sandwich, not a bean burrito, for example. Make sure you clean back there, take a baby wipe, take some water, make sure it's all fresh. Usually you don't need to do anything crazy. Don't douche. I don't advise douching before the back door. Make sure you have a light meal, clean it up back there, and get a good lube. That way you guys are ready. A good silicone-based or water-based. Always recommend a good silicone-based lube. Don't try water-based. Water-based is terrible for the back door. It lasts for a few seconds. It just goes away super quickly. It's not good. You want to use silicone because it will stay slippery the whole entire time. Always prep, always warm up. I have a lot more old podcast episodes and advice on my TikTok where I really tell you how to give that in-depth prep, massage the muscle. Remember, the back door is a muscle. It needs to be relaxed to then be entered. Try just a finger, then try 2 fingers, then try maybe doing just the tip. The back door doesn't have to be rushed. You don't have to get the entire eggplant in the first time you try the back door. If it's just a tip, good. Next time, get used to it because honestly, it's just about getting used to something back there because we're not used to that. Eventually, once you try this with your partner more and more, you'll get ready and know how to relax. Listen to my podcast episodes. I have one labeled Backdoor Fun or something, and I have a bunch of videos on my TikTok for more advice on that. Hey babe, please help me out. How do I keep the rhythm going during Pound Town with my man? I feel like I'm rolling my hips back at the wrong time when he's going forward and I'm going backwards. It just messes up the beat and we kind of get out of sync during Pound Town. Okay, that is such a good question. The best way to keep your rhythm during Pound Town is to do the opposite of what they're doing. If he goes back, you go forward. He goes forward, you go back. But if you're doing it at the same time where you both go forwards, it's just gonna kind of be like this instead of this. And this is what you want. Now, sometimes, yes, it is nice to push it back on them, scoot on it, but most of the time you're trying to bam, 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 getting that Pound Town. I hope that makes sense. All right, guys, that wraps up this episode. If you want to listen more, you can tune in on Hero to my additional Wednesday episodes. I'll have that link down below for you guys. But if not, I will catch you next Sunday for another episode of Girlhood here on Sundays.